You're listening to the Daily Sales Tips Podcast, and I'm your host, Scott Ingram. Today's tip comes from Jeff Bajorek. If you heard Jeff's tip last week, that would have been tip number 208. You heard him introduce this 16-part series called You Don't Have a Closing Problem. Here's Jeff with the first of those 16 ideas.
You don't have a closing problem. You have an opening problem. What's the first impression that a prospect or a customer gets when they take your call? Is it one that immediately screams, this call is worth taking, this person is worth talking to? I know that if I invest 5 or 10 minutes with this person, I'm going to be better off for having done so? Can you trade an adequate amount of value for their time? Does your reputation speak for itself? Do you have a demonstrable level of expertise in the field, in the industry, in your environment? Or are you just another person calling another number on another list and nobody's any worse for not responding? Think about that. You're going to have to do this more than once. So you have an opportunity over the 5 to 7 to 10 to 20 times that you reach out to someone to convey the impression that you're worth speaking to. Your persistence alone means something, but every touch point along the way, do you demonstrate that you're someone who's thinking of them? Do you demonstrate that you're someone who has value that can be provided? Do you demonstrate that your solution is worth considering? They say you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Well, you do get multiple chances to make multiple impressions. What are those impressions adding up to? What do those impressions say about you? I want you to take a very good look. I want you to take a look at your approach, especially at the very beginning of your prospecting process, and I want you to grade yourself on how worthwhile you are making yourself appear to be. If you can't do it yourself, if you're just too close to it, hey, that's fair. Have a colleague rate you while you rate them. Take a step outside of your day-to-day and take a look at how good it is. The better it is, the more likely you are to make an impression, to make a contact, to make a meeting, to be able to get the opportunity to convey your value. No, I'm not worried about your messaging right now, and I'm definitely not worried about your ability to close the sale. That'll come later. But right now, you need to open the process with some authority, with a little bit of gravitas, with a reason for people to take your call. If you don't know that reason and you can't convey that reason, this is going to be over before it starts.
For more about Jeff and for a link to the introduction of this series, just click over to dailysales.tips/215 and consider leaving a comment while you're there. Thanks for listening, and be sure to come back tomorrow for another great sales tip.